What if one morning, seemingly without warning, the skyline of Dhaka begins to change? Not with new skyscrapers or mega projects, but with something far more subtle and far more powerful. Flags of the United States, China, Russia, the United Kingdom, France, and others quietly rise beside heavily guarded buildings. Inside, the world's most experienced defense strategists, intelligence officers, and high-ranking military attachés begin to unpack not just boxes, but influence. The capital city of Bangladesh has just become the newest arena in a global game of strategy, power, and silent warfare. These military attaché offices aren't just ordinary branches of diplomacy. They are the front lines of geopolitical intelligence. They are where strategy is written behind closed doors, where surveillance begins quietly, and where loyalties are tested without ever being spoken aloud. With each superpower establishing its presence in Dhaka, Bangladesh suddenly finds itself standing at the center of a growing storm, one that could either propel it to unprecedented heights of global relevance or pull it into the undertow of rivalry between titans. The Americans arrive with promises of security cooperation, counter-terrorism training, and joint naval drills in the Bay of Bengal. Their attachés speak of democracy, transparency, and shared goals, but their real mission is to monitor the movements of others and keep a close eye on shifting alliances. Then come the Chinese, calm, calculating, and deeply strategic. Their defense attaché office speaks in the language of partnerships, infrastructure security, and mutual development. But beneath the words lies something sharper, a desire to expand influence, protect maritime routes, and counterbalance American presence in a region critical to the Belt and Road Initiative. Not far behind, the Russians make their move. Veterans of diplomacy and deception, they offer military technology, cyber cooperation, and a strong anti-Western stance. Their office in Dhaka becomes a hub for counterintelligence, always watching, always calculating, always adapting. The British and French bring with them the legacy of colonial history, dressed in modern diplomacy. They seek to reclaim influence in the Indo-Pacific theater, using soft power, military training programs, and defense dialogues to re-enter a game they once ruled outright. And so, without firing a single bullet, a new war begins. A war of influence. A war of presence. A silent contest where every statement is weighed, every move is monitored, and every decision Bangladesh makes becomes a ripple in a much larger ocean. For Dhaka, this sudden spotlight is both exhilarating and dangerous. On one hand, it opens doors to military modernization, elite training, strategic technology, and a voice on international defense platforms. On the other, it tightens the invisible grip of global interests, each pulling in a different direction, each expecting loyalty in return. The pressure grows. Defense deals come wrapped in expectations. Intelligence cooperation brings with it hidden monitoring. Satellite data, maritime access, joint drills, all come with unspoken conditions. And in the middle of it all, Bangladesh must make a choice: how to welcome global power without becoming a proxy in their conflicts. Because when the world's military giants plant their flags in your capital, it is no longer just about diplomacy, it's about survival. And in this new Dhaka, surrounded by watchful eyes and strategic minds, the smallest misstep could trigger consequences far beyond its borders. This is not fiction. This is the potential future of a nation rising in importance. A Bangladesh watched, courted, and encircled by giants. The question is, who will write the next chapter? Bangladesh, or those now standing inside its gates?